Now, what does diversity or politics or being woke, hashtag Me Too, what does that have to do with systems engineering when we're trying to build products? It turns out quite a bit. And my opinion here is that diversity means dollars. Now, first, being equal, treating people with respect, treating people based on their ability to perform the job, not something that's peripheral, that is simply the right thing to do, in my opinion. We need to be fair. We need to treat people equally. That not only is morally correct, but it also brings people in, gives them more buy-in, and honestly, it prevents turnover. I've seen people leave because, one person in Albuquerque, they're not a large percentage of African Americans, and the person said, hey, I want to move back east. I think they moved back to either Atlanta or somewhere else in the U.S. South, where there's a bit more diversity in that area. So, now, you could argue we're facing state demographics there, but it emphasizes that diversity is a thing and it is important to fulfill our business mission. Quick examples, we work in design, but we also have a production shop in our industry, and there are roles that are critically important from top to bottom. Even receiving inspection, making sure the parts we get from the vendor pass their requirements, that's critical before we put it into the product stream. So the last thing we want to do is not make them feel included as part of the team. And sometimes there's different ethnic mixes where, African American worker over here, someone who's differently abled doing a key let's say graphics part or drafting role over there. Okay, if they feel disenfranchised, now, again, these are just examples, now we need to fill a spot in receiving inspection, which is critical. And then, we lose a drafter, let's say if a friend of mine actually, just gets tired of dealing with stuff that she doesn't need to deal with. Even a larger case, we have had trouble recruiting African American executives, really top talent, because somehow maybe our diversity hasn't been where it needs to be. Now we're trying to close that gap, but it's been a journey, at least in my experience. I have seen this a little better in government employment per se. I used to work for the Navy as a civilian, but I've seen defense contractors, and it's not for lack of trying. I'm not saying anyone's at fault here. But I am saying that diversity is a thing that we systems engineers need to espouse. We need to engage in employee resource groups or outreach groups. Even if we're not in that particular demographic, a lot of groups want our advocacy and our support, and not just support, but just our engagement. What's at stake is retention, making people feel they can bring their whole selves. And also just more creative ideas. We do design in a lot of places where I work, and we don't want to just have everyone that has a similar mindset, similar life experience, trying to be creative. We need to bring in, just not just diverse ages, but also make the LGBTQ community feel very comfortable as well, because there's just a lot of creativity in different pockets. So you may hear of things like being woke or hashtag Me Too or people feeling uncomfortable at work. I encourage you. Let's take that seriously. I really feel that that's important because again, with our time and schedule pressures, we need everybody, and on a larger level, I feel it's the right thing to do. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If I'm off base, throw me a comment. Throw me a direct message. I'd love to hear what you think. I realize this is a sensitive topic, but I think as systems engineers, it's one that we need to engage with, because if we need to do something in a team environment, particularly if we're leading a team, we need to increase our awareness, our situational ability to absorb when someone's feeling excluded, situational awareness, and our overall savvy in this area. If we do, we're going to really find we have impact. We can lead diverse teams. We can lead teams at different sites as well. There's geographic diversity. And, if we're trying to solve big problems, We need to evolve maybe from some mindsets of the past into some new mindsets. Again, comment below. Let me know what you think.